Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? Every time we go food shopping or grocery shopping, whether it's online or in store, without fail, we get sticker shock. What was once one price last week is now a few dollars more the next. Tucker. Who doesn't love Tucker? Tucker Carlson said that he felt radicalized after visiting a Moscow grocery store recently and seeing the prices of food there. He and his crew estimated that the groceries that they filled their cart with, which represented a week's worth of food for him and his crew, would cost about $400. And they were shocked when they only spent $104. So, when was the last time we only spent $104 for a week's worth of groceries for you and your family? When was the last time? Be honest. A week's worth of groceries in this house is more like $400. Okay. And to think he was buying groceries for him and his crew, for grown men, okay, with appetites. So $104. Footage of his shopping trip was released. I watched it. I found it quite fascinating. It was like watching a typical dad going food shopping, right? And he's like walking around shopping cart, and he had to, it was like in the beginning, he was like, you have to put the quarter or the ruble in the shopping cart like we do at Aldi's, right? And then you get the ruble or the quarter back, when you're done shopping. And he's walking around the grocery store, and he's picking up various products. He picked up a bottle of wine. He got cheese puffs because who doesn't want cheese puffs? He got bread, flour, and he drew attention to Western chocolate bars like Snickers and whatnot at the checkout line. And then in the video, he said, if you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries that they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you are a good person or a bad person. Now, sanctions. Let's talk about that. Sanctions against Russia have made prices go up here in the United States, but they are affecting those who impose them more than their targets. Here in America, people are dealing with shortages on staples like eggs. In some areas, baby formula, there's still shortages. While the extreme inflation and rising prices of foods like beef and milk have put them out of reach for some people. So Tucker goes on to say, you're wrecking people's lives in their country. And that's what our leaders have done to us. He's not lying. And coming to a Russian grocery store, to the heart of evil, because Russia's supposed to be the bad guy. Evil, evil. And seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against your own leaders. That's how I feel anyway. I feel radicalized. Because he spoke about how beautiful Moscow is and like the subway, how beautiful the subway is. It's so clean and there's no graffiti and it's like not crime ridden and this and that. And, because he lives, he's got a place in New York City, and he said, you dare go to the subway in New York and it's like, good luck trying to get out of there alive. You know what I mean? It's like one of those, So his grocery outing does illustrate the difference between what we hear about Russian life and the reality on the ground. Although we aren't often told that the store shelves are empty there, he showed that is not the case, at least not in the store that he visited. The store that he went to, it was like the grocery store was inside of like a mall, and it was like high end, like, you know, like the stores in there was like, whoa, I haven't seen stores like that and I don't know how long, you know, it was like one of those. So people on social media, they're attacking Tucker, and it's like, for what? You know what I mean? The guy was just, he's a journalist. He's doing what he's doing, you know? And they're taking Tucker to task for not acknowledging that groceries take up a higher percentage of most Russian people's salaries. Well, that's happening here too. So your point is? However, the point that Tucker seems to be trying to make is that the mainstream media in America often distorts the images it presents of other places, and there is typically an agenda in doing so. There's always an agenda. I don't care who you are or who you listen to or what you want to believe. There's always an agenda behind something, right? I myself have always been made to believe that Russian grocery stores were always empty, and the only way to get food was to stand in bread lines for hours on end. But it's obvious that we have been lied to, and it took a journalist like Tucker to get the truth out. Just like how, okay, do you remember last year when, was it last year or was it the year before? No, I think it was last year. Ads were being run in other countries, not here, but they were being run in other countries on how the citizens of the United States are starving. We're starving. Oh my God, we can't feed ourselves. Come to find out, these ads were being made in the United States by a US-based nonprofit called Share Your Strength to raise awareness about food insecurity in America. And in the video, there's a young little girl, and she's holding a teddy bear. And she stares into the camera, standing next to an Asian man, as a German-speaking voice describes her condition, saying she has little access to nutritious food. She's susceptible to disease because of her diet and is increasingly dependent on the government. Then the narrator says that the girl is American. But funny how those ads were never run here. They were only run in other countries. Well, if that sort of thing was actually happening, if all of us Americans are actually starving to death, why wouldn't they let us know that that's exactly what's happening to us? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the lies that are being told and made to believe, it's something, isn't it? It's something. Anyway, all right, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, you stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.